The U.S. military now has 2 aircraft carriers operating in the Middle East. This marks the first extended dual use of supercarriers in the region in years. General Frank McKenzie, head of U.S. Central Command, said that he would caution Iran and its proxies from attempting a response that would endanger U.S. and coalition forces or our partners. He stated that his command is well postured to defend our forces around the region and to respond to any further aggression against our forces, noting that the Secretary of Defense has given him 2 aircraft carriers to support CENTCOM missions. He added, "We have the flexibility, capability, and will respond to any threat." The 2 aircraft carriers that are currently in the CENTCOM area of responsibility are the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and the USS Harry S. Truman. McKenzie said at a Pentagon press briefing, "We're going to keep them for a while." He explained, "The beauty of the aircraft carrier is this. It has enormous offensive capabilities, it has enormous defensive capabilities, and it has mobility. The carriers are very important to us, and we know the Iranians watch them very closely too." Viewers may note that USS Harry S. Truman supercarrier recently relieved the USS Abraham Lincoln, which was deployed to the region in May of last year to deter Iranian aggression. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Iran should be afraid of USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and USS Harry S. Truman supercarriers. Let's get into the details. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. If you are, like us, fascinated by military vehicles and technology, I recommend you give War Thunder a try. It's a military vehicle combat game which you can download and play for free on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. It has a huge variety of more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s, which you can take to battle on land, in the air, and at sea on more than 80 theaters of war. War Thunder's been kind enough to offer all Defense Updates viewers a special bonus, which will grant you a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account time for registering using our link in the description below. So take the plunge and join more than 20 million players from around the world. Relations between US and Iran have been very tense, and on several occasions it seemed an all-out conflict could break out. Fortunately, this has not happened, but Iran's military continue to be a threat when it comes to ships passing the Persian Gulf, and especially the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a strait between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. It provides the only sea passage from the Persian Gulf to the open sea. On the north coast lies Iran, and on the south coast the United Arab Emirates and Musandam, an exclave of Oman. At its narrowest, the strait has a width of only 21 nautical miles, or 39 kilometers. Around 33% of the world's liquefied natural gas and almost 20% of total global oil production passes through the strait, making it one of the most important sea routes. Because of its narrow width, it's kind of a choke point and can be leveraged to harass commercial vessels. In this situation, a strong U.S. naval presence will be key to reassuring allies like Saudi Arabia. USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, CVN-69, is the second, whereas USS Harry S. Truman, CVN-72, is the 8th Nimitz-class aircraft carrier in the United States Navy. The Nimitz-class supercarriers are a class of 10 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers in service with the U.S. Navy. The lead ship of the class is named for World War II United States Pacific Fleet Commander Admiral Chester W. Nimitz. Nimitz-class aircraft carriers were designed to be improvements on previous U.S. aircraft carriers, in particular the Enterprise and Forrestal class. Both were built in Newport News Shipbuilding Company. USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and USS Harry S. Truman are some of the largest warships constructed. These have a displacement of 100,000 tons and an overall length of 332.8 meters. That's 1,092 feet. To give viewers a perspective, they're about 3 football fields long. Both are powered by 2 A4W nuclear reactors kept in separate compartments. These power 4 propeller shafts and can produce a maximum speed of over 30 knots or 56 kilometers per hour. As a result of the use of nuclear power, these warships are capable of operating continuously for over 20 years without refueling, and are predicted to have a service life of over 50 years. Practically, they have unlimited range. Both these supercarriers are equipped with RIM-7 Sea Sparrow, RIM-116 rolling airframe missiles, and Phalanx CIWS. RIM-7 Sea Sparrow is a U.S. shipborne, short-range anti-aircraft and anti-missile weapon system, primarily intended for defense against anti-ship missiles. It uses semi-active radar homing for guidance. The missile has an operational range of 10 nautical miles or 19 kilometers and a speed in excess of Mach 2.5. The RIM-116 rolling airframe missile, also known as RAM, is a small, lightweight, infrared homing surface-to-air missile used primarily as point defense weapon against anti-ship cruise missiles. The missile is so named because it rolls around its longitudinal axis to stabilize its flight path, much like a bullet fired from a rifled barrel. It has a range of 9 kilometers or 5.6 miles and a speed of Mach 2. The Phalanx weapon system is a rapid-fire, computer-controlled, radar-guided gun that can defeat anti-ship missiles and other close-in threats on land and at sea. It's a last-ditch defensive weapon and is designed to defeat anti-ship missiles and close-in threats that have pierced other lines of defense. It has a range of 2.2 miles or 3.5 kilometers and has a rate of fire of 4,500 rounds per minute. USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and USS Harry S. Truman have a flight group of more than 60 aircraft. The Nimitz-class supercarrier's main offensive force consists of the FA-18 Hornet and FA-18 Super Hornet. They'll be the trump card when it comes to establishing air superiority. These are twin-engine, supersonic, all-weather, carrier-capable, fourth-generation multi-role fighter aircraft and can carry ground attack weapons as well as air-to-air missiles. The versatility of the aircraft can be gauged from the fact that on the first day of Operation Desert Storm, 2 FA-18 Hornets, each carrying 4 2,000-pound bombs, shot down 2 Iraqi MiGs and then proceeded to deliver their bombs on target. Apart from these fighter jets, USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and USS Harry S. Truman have EA-18G Growler and E-2C Hawkeye. The EA-18G Growler is an airborne electronic attack AEA aircraft. It's capable of electronic attack EA and suppression of enemy air defense SEAD, particularly at the start and ongoing early stages of hostilities. Northrop Grumman's E-2C Hawkeye is a carrier-capable AWACS aircraft. It's designed to give long-range warning of incoming aerial threats and has a secondary role of command and control. Iran's only chance against an American supercarrier is asymmetric warfare. This can include using speedboats and Qatar missiles. While the threat that small boats pose to major warships has been apparent for some time, the Pentagon's Millennium Challenge 2002 exercise brought the issue to mainstream attention. In that controversial exercise, small, fast boats carrying suicide payloads inflicted heavy damage on U.S. naval forces. But U.S. Navy has updated its strategy to counter these kinds of attacks. The Qatar supersonic missile, developed by Iran, has a range of about 185 miles, or 300 kilometers. It's self-guided and can maneuver to lock onto moving targets. The missile is cheap, easy to launch, and can be deployed in swarms. But given that a supercarrier has the ability to launch preemptive strikes and possess a vast arsenal of defensive weapons, it's unlikely that these will be able to cause significant damage. Overall, it can be said that the odds are very heavily stacked against Iran especially since 2 supercarriers are operating in the region now.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.